I had to stage. That's why I gotta stage it up. Hey, how's everybody doing? Just a smidge. Oh, chat's over there. I should see it. Let me bring up a. Oop, all right, well, that'll work for now. Bring up a second window. Copy link. Close second window. Come in here. Paste and go. Mute. All right, close. It's up. I should be good. I should be able to see. How's it going? Hope everybody's all right. It's been a few. All right, so got started a little bit. Hey, I should go live. It's been a while. Noisy. So what I got going on, I've been in the background, not doing stuff. Decided to go ahead and start a build. Want that back open. And what I'm doing is, for now, got the build already kind of done, but I was using the SSD high ratio tranny I built, but it's too much. It's got too much high rotation for what I built it for. I built a monster truck out of ripped axles and a bunch of other stuff, and picked up a couple things. Used a bunch of other stuff that I had, spare stuff laying around for shits and giggles. And I'm not really a monster truck guy, but I figured, hey, what the hell, I'd do it. Everything's pretty much new except for one or two items, but I figured, yeah, I'll do that. But I've used this SSD tranny, high ratio tranny I built a couple years ago and never got to use for the project I used it for. And it's just too fast. I had this old 3-gear later on, I believe, out of a Honcho, and was still able to come up with a set of VP gate cases because this is plastic and it's going to be a problem. I'm assuming it's plastic, so it's going to be a problem. Well, you don't have to assume. So I figured, okay, I'll build this 3-gear into a metal case, and that will make a huge difference. It will certainly help a lot because I had this thing around, didn't have to do anything, and everything's in nice shape. It's hardly ever been used, brand new basically. So you here. So I figured I'd build this puppy up and put it together and throw it into my monster truck, which will slow me down as far as rotational, output. My gear ratio will be lowered because it's way too fast right now. I got no low end punch and I'm running a big old motor, so it's geared way too high with that thing in it. I should probably, how tacky? Oh, it ain't too bad. I should probably clean them up. Let me see. Let's go grab a tub or something to put them in. So you with me for a minute to go grab something. Okay. Let me see. I think this I have problems. Double check first. And plastic. In there. Mm-hmm. Goes out of there. Grab this. Clean. So yeah, I haven't been doing a lot of any video, obviously. A lot of stuff going on right now. I've been paying attention to, like a lot of people, especially as of the last couple weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks. Unlike other channels, I don't mind bringing up the other parts of our life, especially the political ones, especially in times like these. Even in the RC world, politics has invaded our subtle, quiet, leave us alone, we don't want to deal with the world. Of course, I was never like that with politics, really, myself, but a lot of people are. But now politics, because of drones and capabilities and other stuff and the ever-changing, situation, politics has jumped right on into the RC world. I can understand why on some point, but the things that are going to come of it are not going to be just because somebody might do something mean or insidious and use an RC doing it. Anybody that's been around long enough and has read 1984 understands what the push and the final goal is. And if you don't, then you need to understand. If you don't know what 1984 is, the book, go read it. If you do understand 1984, at least that it's a book, don't think that it's just fiction. It's nonfiction. It's not a book of fiction. It was a game plan and a goal. And we're seeing that being pushed. Have our whole lives is a little bit more blatant in our face right now than ever before, which I guess is a good thing because now everybody's starting to say, hey, what the hell? What's going on? This ain't what we were signing up for. And I'm not talking about the current situation right now. I'm talking about the last 40, 50 years. My whole life, I'll be 60 this year. Now, watching this stuff since the Vietnam War. I was born in the middle of it, at early place, 1966. I'm an elder Gen Xer, if you will. Gen X starts in 1964. A lot of people think it's 65, but no, it's 1964. The death of John F. Kennedy is what defined the change between the boomers and the Gen Xers. So it was 1964 to 1980. 1982, actually. Again, because 1982, why? Well, if you were born in 1982, you became an adult, turned 18 in the year 2000, thus the term millennial. If you were born in 99, you're not a millennial. You're in that Gen Y. And that's how that works. But yeah, 1964 to 1982. That's a Generation X. You younger kids should be asking us older guys a lot of questions. And don't get offended when we tell you what's what, because you probably won't like what we're going to tell you. What seems to be the case as you get older, you start to understand the world a lot better, and it's hard not to become a little disgruntled after busting your hump, thinking that you were doing everything that you were supposed to be doing to make things better, just to find out those who are telling you they got it, they're going to make things better, we're screwing the pooch and you involved at the same time. So, yeah, it is what it is. Okay, it's close to being clean. I'm gonna go rinse things off real quick. Some real hot water. right, that'll work. Grease it up as I put it back together. Oh, I hear Nate. Duckies. Hello, Ducky. Uh-oh. Might have to go out, take a look what's going on. They're coming up to yell at me. Pop these out. It's just that out. Come on. Okay, so that one goes in there. I'm going to have to come up with something to close that off. That'll be easy. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Little bit of grease. I'll do it like that. I don't mind building it slightly backwards. Goes in there like that snugly. Or I might have to do a little work on that. Okay. you open. Okay, so you out of here. One isn't going to work. Well, I guess I have to. Interesting. Hole placement's different. Just slightly. I ordered a different motor plate. I don't know if I ordered the right one though. I don't know if I ordered the right one, so I guess I'm kind of stuck at this point, not going any farther here, because I need a different mount plate. That will have to stay with that. We'll see. Well, kind of a drag. Not really a lot, but just a little thing. I thought that was the right one. It's going to work. Is not. Let's see what we got. So we'll just pack her up. I can put it aside for now. Either for the bottom, which I don't need. That's done. Go ahead and put all this in here for now. On this side, that's got to go in there. Spacer, those got to go in there. I'll put these in here for now. On this side, this can go in its own bag. Where it's off the side. Okay, and put this stuff aside for now. These items are for the monster truck too. Maybe I was a whip it out. I got a few things. I was hoping to actually get this done, put it back in. I took the SSD tranny out earlier because, like I say, it's just too much. Way too much. Put all you over here. Put you over here for now. And these are out of the clearance bin, so they were like $3 a pack. Yeah, half price. So they're $3 a pack. They're shock setups, and they have the cap with the captured end. So these will work just fine for these shocks here, so I can capture the ends, because these are the wrong ends for the shock purchase for the springs. These purchases are for the other shock pieces I have, so I can replace all my ends and put these other ends in, and then lock my caps down, or at least put the caps on at the bare minimum. Take those caps off, put these caps on, and stick a screw through it so I'm not losing them. So that's the thing I'm going to do there. And I got a couple extras. A few for spares. So yeah, here's the monster truck build. I've been doing this in the background, blasting things together. So I don't know the chassis. It's all aluminum, 1/4 inch, 5-6 millimeter thick rails. I mean, it's a thick chassis. I got it from one of my local guys. Do a slightly different build for it, but it ended up being this. But yeah, so I'm not sure what the chassis is. SCX 10.2 based. Like I said, I had the SSD Tranny in it. But I'm going to an Axial 3 gear to slow down the gear ratio, get it a lot, lower, so I can get less speed and more low end grunt, and almost no low end out of it. Rift axles with Vanquish housings. The front is differential. I don't have the front locked. I got it set up with a differential so I get better turning. Cheapy servo, we'll see how it works. Give it a shot. I think it was $42 and it's 70 kilograms. So a big old beefy one. I want something that's going to turn these tires in dirt and stuff. Same thing on back, rift axle. Built up. Metal drive chassis, cheap Amazons. Decent quality though. Can't remember the brand off the top of my head, but they are a decent quality. Same thing with shocks, 120 millimeter shocks, homemade custom side plates for the monster truck. I made some lighter ones or shallower ones. Good for a mud truck, but not for a monster truck. Didn't get it up high enough. Aftermarket cheap Slamazon rift trailing arms and, cheap Amazon links. And that's about the base setup. Other than that, like I say, ended up going with Proline Demolisher wheels, and on the front to get a little bit more width, they got this, hub on the inside, 17 millimeter and 12 millimeter hex hubs. So you screw the hub in for whichever hex you have. I got 12s, so I use the 12s, and they're in a little bit, as you can see, the front's a little bit wider maybe than the back. Back's just a slight bit thinner, narrower. But what I did is I took both hubs, a 17 millimeter, stuck it in there first, and then put the 12 millimeter in the back to push the tire out a little bit. Got a little bit more scrub on it, but it's a monster truck, for crying out loud. Who cares about a little bit of scrub? Not like you're doing 100 miles an hour. That's really going to bother you. Driving slow and doing tricks. But it gives me more decent turn radius. It's pretty much limited out right there as it's getting to the links. So that was a nice thing. Pretty much once I get a motor plate, I'll see if this motor plate I got coming works. If it doesn't, I'll have to find the right one and get one on its way. Kind of sucks. I really didn't need the other motor plate at that point, but it is what it is. At least the one I got still works for what I need. The high ratio tranny. So anywho, I'll get that back in here. I put a Hobby Wing 8BL 150, a big old, ESE bastard, because you're gonna rift axles. And I think I might end up doing this too. I've got Vanquish in the front, as I was getting to a little bit earlier. Rift axle in the has a diff in it, but it's not stock diff. I've got the Vitavon diff gears and a Vitavon diff cup in the front end. And then in the back, it's just stock as far as that goes. But of course, with Vanquish, they come, because they're center drive shaft, they come with their own rear drive shafts inside the housings. So it's pretty much stock though. But I got stock gearing in the diffs, ring and pinion. But Vanquish has them clearanced out, and they still have some. So I ended up picking up a pair of underdrive. So I may put the underdrive gear set in here to further reduce my gear ratio. We'll figure it out once I get the tranny back in here. I think the 3-gear tranny is going to drop it a lot from the high ratio SSD. That's going to drop my gear ratio down a lot. This big old motor got it kind of cranked up on the settings on 3S. It still should punch good, and it barely gets going here in a minute, especially with these big old wheels and stuff. So I need to lower the gear ratio a little bit. So I've got the different tranny, which will slow down my gear ratio. That's a crawler tranny, so that'll be number 1. I got the underdrive ring and pinion I can put in if I have to. That'll be number 3, actually. Number 2 is spur and pinion. So 32 pitch stuff, 5mm shaft. So I ended up having to look around. I didn't have anything smaller than like 68, 72, which is too big, besides because right now it's got like 56, 57 on it. So I ordered a 60 and 62 tooth, and maybe I think a 64 tooth spur gear, and then some smaller pieces. But if you've seen the other motor plate, you've seen I kind of had a fixed position because this motor's so big, it was as tight as it could go. So there isn't much adjustment. So it was basically a fixed spot. So now with at least the other spurs and pinions and motor plate, I'll be able to set it up so I can adjust the motor out a little bit, put a bigger spur gear on it. Won't be able to go too big because it's going to be written right into the drive shaft before too long. But get a bigger spur on it, smaller pinion, and again, reduce that gear ratio. Get it so I can hit it and get some actual wheel speed and, get a wheelie. Because right now, it just ain't got it. We'll go from there. We'll see what we get to. And that once I'm all there, if it doesn't quite make it, I'll throw the underdrive ring and pinion here in both front and back, which again will drop the gear ratio down. We'll see what happens. Worst case scenario, I pull this big old thing. Got a couple of these quick run, I got two of the 120s. I got one of them in a 4x4 slash, the other one in my old Duratrax dirt bike, DX 450, and they're just, even all cranked out, they've just got no low end punch. All 3 of them are, they're just no, even max settings, everything else tweaked out. Now, if I put 6X in this, maybe. I shouldn't have to, though. I mean, I can put 4S in it. That'll help a little bit. But again, I shouldn't have to. 3S, I should be able to get plenty of punch to get this thing to pull the front end up or take off quick. It goes fast. That's part of the reason why it's, high ratio tranny. So hopefully all that will do. So what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to pop these caps off. I may end up actually these caps off with the bolt head system. I may end up taking those out. I may end up doing the rod ends too, as long as they fit down in there, but I don't think they do. But I'm going to use the shock end caps and just put them in there and put a bolt through them so they don't lose. These ones fall off all the time. So that's why I bought these for the price, and then I'll have, you know, spacers and a few other things I could use in here according to other shotguns. So that's what those are for. So yeah, the monster truck build pretty decent, really. In the body, you've seen it before, but it's getting new duty. It's the drag body for a slash. It's the Proline 56 Ford F-150. Let me go ahead and come over here for a minute. Let's swap over to our other camera. There you can kind of get a better idea of what it looks like. So yeah, it's a nice looking, you know. I had to shorten it up. I had the links here mounted farther back. Right here's a hole. You can see a hole right there on each side. So I took about a ½ inch off each one. It was 16-inch wheelbase, and now it's 14 3/4, 14 7/8, which fits a lot better. Looks a lot better. So yeah, once I get her painted up, I'm gonna give her the USA 1 paint job, and maybe throw a 250 in there somewhere. But yeah, I think the regular 3-gear tranny, underdrive ring and pinion if I need it. Worst case scenario, at the end of the day, if this, you know, is still all kind of doggy because of this ESC and motor combo, I'll just jump on and buy a LMT2 ESC and motor off of eBay, off some pull-offs. That's what we'll do with that. And then went ahead and bought a drive LMT 2.0 ES or motor. Gosh dang it. LMT 2.0 Spectrum radio and receiver. Receiver's obviously installed in the truck, monster truck. So it's got the whole drive capability. I saw Kevin Talbot put this system on his big electric converted monster truck, his Primal RC, the big quarter scale thing, and he was able to wheelie and hold it and do bicycle and hold it. So the system works as it is. So I said, okay, we'll do that. Part of the reason I'm doing it is I'm going to give it to my brother for his birthday, which is at the end of the month. Hopefully I can finish it up and get her done by the end of the month. But yeah, I want to give it to my brother for his birthday. He'll be, say, I'm turning 60, so Al's going to be 71, maybe 72 this year. I figured that'd be a cool birthday present for my older brother. Okay, give me a second. I'll be back. I'm going to go refill my coffee because it's empty. All right. And if you notice the significance, hey, what's up, RC car guy? Right on. Appreciate you swinging in. I get that. Hard to do anything when you're stuck at work. I wish I was right now. I get looking, still trying to find some work. It'll come in soon enough. Getting calls. There's nothing solid yet. But so yeah, if you understand, like I said, I was thinking about giving this thing to my brother for his birthday. And if I end up doing that, it'd be kind of neat. So I believe, let's see, if I believe he's born in 55. The Ford body's a 56. They don't make a 55, but that would, be commemorative, if you will, of that as well. So maybe throw a happy birthday in the paint job in there, like as well, something in there maybe. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get something set up, and I'm not much of a painter, but I'm gonna try to come up with something, give this thing a paint job, a red, white, and blue, a flag, a USA 1 theme, add some 250 in there, maybe toss some happy birthday to my brother in there. I mean, if I really had the skills, I'd like to make a cage and toss a cage in it and put a driver in it and, get a 3D printed driver of my brother and put him in driving it, that kind of shit. He's not an RCer. Fiddles around just a little bit, but so that's why I was thinking I might end up giving him that. We'll see. It'll just sit on his shelf, no doubt. He might run it a little bit, and I'll give him everything he needs to run it. Come back to this one. So yeah, that's what I've been kind of throwing some time at when it's all done. Yeah, I will. Like I said, I tried to get busy last year, and then I got busy at work and didn't get busy on video. Then other things happened and end up not being working anymore, and I should have jumped right in and hammered videos, but I didn't. Only done a couple spot videos here and there, although I've been doing stuff, just not been urged to pop off a video and start, doing some recording, which I should have been. There's other things I've been doing. Not much, but a little bit. But winter's in and being stuck inside, I can't. I love winter, but I can't handle it anymore, so it kind of sucks. But yeah, when I get the body done, absolutely, I'll be showing that too. I should be trying to start on it here real shortly. End of the month's going to come up fast. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it done. I mean, I'll be able to get it running and mobile, and body won't be mounted the best. That's why I'd really like to get a cage, help support the body, give it more of that monster truck look. A lot of things to do to it. Plus, hopefully, I can go out and find me some work too. But yeah, I definitely plan on showing the cage. Other than that, I haven't been doing too much else in RC. Like I said, it's cold as hell outside. Going through some things. I picked up a couple rigs and ended up selling them out. Was going to build them, and other things came up. Other plans changed. So now that I know exactly what I want to do, I sold the 2 rigs I had, so I'm going to buy another one. I'll buy a Portal Phoenix. I'm not a Portal Phoenix kit. I just sold the Portal Phoenix kit. I'll buy a Vanquish VS410 Portal kit. And use that platform. I've got 2 H10 front axles, pretty much complete. Everything's stock. So I figured I'd take the Phoenix kit, or not the Phoenix kit, the VS410 Portal kit, add the 2 H10 axles, and build 2 mullet builds. I've got another chassis and system that I could take the axles that I have on it now off, and it's a VS410 early chassis kit for a three gear. So I could take that off and use that setup as is and just replace the axles under it and make it a mullet. And using the H10 front and the either the F10 stock rear and one of them is going to be 4-wheel steer, I think. Well, absolutely will be. Got a 2H10 front axles, and I'll have an F10 front axle and an F10 rear axle out of the portal kit. So I figured I'd be able to build a 4-wheel steel mullet and just a regular mullet with everything I got. Once I buy the kit, I'll need one more body. I got everything else for it: wheels, tires, motor, servo, all the other stuff. Except I'll need one more servo for the 4-wheel steer one. Well, actually, I'll need a couple because if I buy a kit, I'll need a servo for that one. But anyways, that's what I think I might do for my build for this year. I've already got everything else I need to build built. There's other things I got to do. Got to get into that too. But yeah, I was really hoping to get this monster truck done with this Tranny. I thought that motor plate was going to work, but it doesn't appear it's going to. So let me take a peek here on what I got on the one coming. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me take a look at that bolt placement. We'll see if it's right. That one does look to be a little bit more like the one. Yeah, it doesn't look to be like it's as deep, maybe. We'll see. Let's see. Back to my watch list. I got a couple other ones still, I believe, in here. Might have got rid of them. That's the one I got from. Such a dark picture. But should be fine. SCX-10-2, so that should be the right one. Metal motor plate SCX-10-2. Looks like that third hole, which is hard to see, but if that's it, that one's way down there. Damn, I think that's the wrong one. All right, so let me take a peek. I think I still got a couple. Saved in my list here. I'll take a peek. If not, I'll have to do a quick search. Okay. Go back to that. It's going to be the same one I got, which is too far away. Damn. All right, but there are a couple other ones I see. There's that one, which is for a dual motor, which I don't need. Yeah, that one puts it, yeah, top and bottom, but that's all right. I could even cut the one off. Pretty sure I've seen a different one. Ooh. Right there. Oh, damn. Yeah, he wants two. So, Vanquish motor plate right here, but it's $46. Oof, that's a pricey one. Where'd that come from? That one's a little pricey one. Let me see what we get here. This is all the stuff. Doesn't show a motor plate. Let's see. Oh, they should have it here. Let's see what we got. Jump. On turn. Love these names. Triangle support bar. Front triangle pole. Gearbox. Shell. Driven dog bone. Alloy gearboy box hold. Alloy gearbox mount holder. What they are talking about is a skid plate. Motor mount, very bottom one. That looks like it's in the wrong spot. Too far away. Maybe not. It's pretty close to the hole. Okay, let's take a peek. Oh, looks like those are the only couple options there then. For this one. So it's right on the bottom. Oh, that gives you a whole box and a motor too. Wow. Shot. Motor mount. Too much. 1010. Looks like the same though. How much is that one? 1010. All right. So if I go, that's where I want to go. Add the cart. We'll just throw it in there. See in cart. Oh. Remove from cart. Too much shipping. Coming out of China. All right. Well, let's come over to Slamazon real quick. Let's see if we can find something here. Hey, Bob, how you doing? Yeah, I never did have a Tamiya Bruiser. I wasn't a real monster truck guy most of my life. Like I said, I've been in and out of RC a little bit. I had a couple T-Max, the E-Max, and they're all right, but never really got big into the monster truck scene. Once crawlers come around, got into crawlers a lot, a little mud trucking, but yeah, the crawler scene was where I really got back into it. Man, that's the only good option, really. It'd be a shame to have to slash that all up. So let's see. There's a dual motor mount. Oh, something on there too. All right, I guess we're not going to that one. Let's see. Gotta be something here. Someone. You'd think, anyways. Let's see. Let's go 3-gear. 3-gear. That's about how most of them are noted on here. Oh, no. 10-2. Let's just do transmission. Oh, yeah, I'll probably do 10-2. Lots of trannies. Whole trannies. I don't want the whole tranny. There you go. Simple motor plate. Dig through my stuff just to make sure I don't have a third one hiding somewhere, which I'm pretty positive I don't. Dang, not many options. Let me do it this way. So they use 2 eyes. Instead of 2. All right, so that's a little different. No, really, that one's out 2. And watch list this. I'm gonna watch list this one here too. Back here, go back to history. So let's take a look at this one. Not much. Huh. Might end up having to look at AliExpress, see what I can find there. We'll see. Have a good one, RC car guy. Can't remember your name, bud. Sorry. Holy cow, old Nitro Bullet from HPI. That is an older rig, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, when work slows down, it sucks. Especially when you're used to working all the time. Having to shed that money and watch where you're spending it gets to be a pain. So let me see. Jump into AliExpress real quick. Do a quick little search. SCX 10.2. Stupid little phone did pop up. Motor mount. Let's see what we come up with. Let's try 10 SCX 10.2. Let's do mount. See what we come up with. Just servo stuff. Drive shafts all over the place. Axles. Of course, I could always make one. I got aluminum. Wouldn't be hard to make out a simple mount. Try transmission and see what I get. Try gearbox. They're nothing but trannies. Well, all sorts of mounts, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of trannies. No motor mounts. Let's just try motor. Let's see, I'm probably just going to get motors now. Well, I'm actually getting quite a variance of stuff. So, all right. Well, it looks like my options are slim. I'll have to check through my parts, see if I got one. I'll probably end up having to cut one myself, which ain't no big deal. I got, like, say, plenty of aluminum. Got enough aluminum to cut up another chunk for a motor plate. So I ain't got it anywhere else. All right, well, I guess that's what we do. What's this? Yeah, because that's the only other one I've seen. Watch list, come back in there real quick, check what I got in there. Got a couple options. That's the one I'm going. It's the wrong one. Vanquish one. I don't want to spend that much money. I think that one's the one, but Jesus, gotta pay $8 shipping. All right, I'll have to think about how I'm going to do that. But cool, guys. I'm going to shut her down. Thanks for hanging out. I was hoping to have more. I really thought my motor plate was going to work. Didn't realize the motor bolt mounts are in different locations. So we'll get that figured out. I'll make up something and get her cut out and go from there. So thanks a lot. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Hit that like, subscribe, and share if you would. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you in a while.